Hey, good morning, everybody. Bob, Trade Genius here, the 3rd of November. And this is conversation talking about a new buy sell indicator. And I'm going to pop into it right now. I pretty much have everything turned on. I'm on a 15-minute. So I'm going to tell you what it is and really the best way to use it, especially if you want to be a more frequent trader. And that's why I developed it. So this is an indicator that I use forever. We finally incorporated it into TradingView, and we put a basically the buy sell indicator. We were able to then display it onto the charts too. So here we are. And if you own the indicator package, you automatically get this. So you just have to contact support at tradegenius101 at gmail.com and just make sure that our support people have your TradingView name, indicate that you want to add this, and we'll get it turned on for you. And if you're not a subscriber, this is one of 4 indicators that you get from trading the stock ETF side. Phil has a couple others that are available for trading cryptocurrencies, and I'm sure he'll be talking about those over the next couple days to a week. And everything's designed for you to visually see the cues and also use the power of TradingView to set alerts to be able to enter and to exit trades. So with that in mind, the best way to use TradingView is I have Pro Plus. I'm allowed 10 indicators. I don't think you need to have anything more than that. You'll just, it starts getting really cluttered. So I'm just going to first start with that. Is that the indicators that we have set up? I have set up Moneymaker twice. Okay, I have the one indicator that is looking for extreme RSI moves. Okay, and then I have a filter for it for linear regression. I'm only looking for extreme moves for the trade, and I use this Moneymaker mostly on the 60-minute. Okay, but it shows up everywhere. But just to show you, and then see here where you see the red triangles, those are flashing, and those are good indicators to likely an area that you could short if you're counter trending a trade here. You could buy puts there if you want. Okay, but usually trade with the trend. That's a topic for another day. And then I have the other money maker set for the 50, 40, 40, 50, and I'm looking for, I had this set up here because I want to see if we're in a trend environment. I want to see when the trends are recycling so I can buy dips. And then the additional tool that we have is, before I get to that, is this is a public one. This is basically combining 2 indicators. One of our subscribers built this. Okay, and it basically combines all the linear regression indicators and the moving average indicators into one. And that way you basically save yourself. You'd have to buy 6 indicators from TradingView. We put it into one indicator. Okay, so that's available for you instead of you trying to use up all your indicators in a and then be basically you have to upgrade. So we're saving you some money here. And then our other 2 indicators, I'm going to turn this one back on. This is our slingshot, and this one's looking at extreme moves, basically too far too fast, and you should pay attention to them. And they're mostly designed to exit positions or tell you that whatever's happening is likely to have ended. And then this one here is, I put this on here to show you, since we have 10, this is the volume profile. And everything I do is I try to be at 65 bars back. So 65 times 15 minutes. And this is painting the volume profile on this. And that way you could kind of see, and if you look at volume profile, is that the areas of interest are these peaks and volume. Okay, these valleys of volume, which we call volume voids. This black line here is where most of the volume occurred. It's the point of control. That's kind of a bull bear line too. And then the indicator that I want to talk about is the buy sell pressure indicator. And I'm going to put that up right now. Okay, so we created this and we put a couple bits of intelligence in this. So you can also filter for linear regression on this. So you can, if you just want to see every time this thing fires, you can turn this on. If you're just looking for the best opportunities and you want to filter for it on the extreme edges of the linear regression, you can turn it on. Okay, this also gives you a chance, if you don't use the other linear regression, you can have this plot turned on and off. Okay, and then just set these to 101. They're just additional filters. We don't need them anymore. And then the length is 62. This is the 2 standard deviation if you're using this as a separate indicator without the other linear regressions. And then I have the trigger line for this saying I only want to see things beyond 1 standard deviation away from the center line to fire. If it turns off, then you start seeing other trades, even trades that are in the upper half of the channel. So it's up to you. And then my length is set is 1, 2, and 3. I mean 1, 3, 3. If you want it more sensitive, you can do 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you go in here to style. I turn all these off because I'm already using linear regression in Moneymaker and JM. So you don't need to have this thing will just kill you in terms of plots. Okay, and then I like to use diamonds. I like to have different, obviously, shapes so I can know what I'm looking at here. I don't have to always read this stuff. And so that's set up for that. And then down here, what I did here is it's just the graphical representation of the money flow. And really the money flow is volume weighted relative strength. So it's giving you the intensity of relative strength. And then the additional intelligence we built into it is I wasn't interested in every crossover. I was only interested in the most extreme crossovers. You know, when money flow is hitting the 0 line, I want it to be long enough, low enough to bring the average down to catch it. And that way, I'm looking for reversals. And then in addition to that, if I can get a reversal at the same time, I'm getting a extension on the linear regression, then it's telling me I got a good trade here. And then if I can get the buy sell pressure to click along with another one of my indicators, then that's telling me it's a good place to make an entry. So here's SPY on the 15-minute, is that you can see this was a good area to go short, or since it's likely, it's hard to know where it was at the trend line when you're here, but let's assume this was accurate, is that you're at the upper end here, is that you could buy puts and then you'd close them off the next day. And then you get a double signal here, you could buy calls, and then obviously they paid you, okay? And then now you're getting a whole series of indicators that say, hey, you know, do you want to sell, do you want to short? Now looking at the volume profile here is that it's telling you that we're right on the point of control, and we're pretty tight inside the band here, so there's probably no real advantage. There's an advantage here to probably take a put right into here, okay? And you notice here I drew a line for myself, and then that trade kind of bounced from there. So going into Monday, you know, I'm kind of neutral on it, and so I just have to wait and see. But that's kind of how you can use it, and then you can step it out to an hourly if you want to get a different look at it. Okay. and you can see that you get a slingshot, you get a bicep pressure here, pushed up to here, but definitely use it best for 15 minutes. Is, because market's just not, everything's range bound. Here's a good trade here. You got a you got a sell signal here. I mean, if you do calls and this stuff, you get it to here. This is a couple $1,000s worth of income for you. So then that way you could play around a little bit more with the linear regression and say, hey, I only want to look at 1500, and you can just change it to that. So you see how you can just constantly modify it depending on what signal is most interesting to you. Okay, but it works best on the 15-minute, but not bad on the hourly either. I'll show you another one here. Here's GDXJ. Okay, this screamed at you to buy a slingshot and a moneymaker signal. And then you got up here and it said, hey, you probably made enough money. You got 3 signals that tell you that it's probably going to back off. Okay. And then if you use volume profile to help you exit a trade, a lot of people say, when should we get out? I usually move stops up, but a rule of thumb could be, hey, you get a buy signal, comes up, you hit here, it hit the point of control. If it touches, is a 13 moving average, by the way, to 65. If it comes up, it comes back down to 13, you probably should bail out. You got another buy signal, you're back in it. Okay? And it's as simple as that. We're looking for extreme moves. If you get something that's trending your way, and you take it. And so put you on the right side of the trade. It's another tool. I just love this tool. And then if VXX ever started to fly again, I would be using it. But I've been out of it, and I just, with the VIX so low, I haven't been trading it. But here you got multiple indicators to buy puts, and you got multiple indicators to buy puts. And these will always pay you. Okay, so you just look for those multiple indicators. Okay, moneymaker didn't hit on this one. I mean, buy sell didn't hit on this. As you can see, it wasn't long enough. It wasn't overbought long enough. But you got multiple other indicators that hit. You can take the trade. So that's why we have everything in there. I love a confluence of my indicators to give me confidence, and that's all you have to do. So the buy sell pressure, in essence, it's basically volume weighted relative strength. We already coded out crossovers other than ones that are at extremes. Basically the moving average gets below 20, and on the upper side it gets above 80. And then you could further filter this by changing the moving average lengths, or you can change I only want to see that are extreme on the linear regression. And just to show you how this changes is that if you look at the buy sell pressure here, you can change this down to a 2, right? Then you change this down to a 2, so you can see the differences. So all of a sudden now you're getting a lot more signals. All right, and that's how you change the sensitivity to it. And then you can change the sensitivity up higher if you want it. You do 3, and you do 3 here, just to show what it looks like here. See, once again, then you can filter for these things to get and look for extreme moves. So it's really a tool for you. We try to build these flexibilities into it because we don't want to be quote unquote the gurus. We want to really teach you guys how to do this stuff and find your own style. Once you understand how this all works, And then the last thing I want to show you here is, let me fix this for myself so I don't screw myself up. Is that you have the ability to create alerts on this stuff so that you can go in and you go to the alarm clock, you get a plus sign, and let me do SPY because I'm going to set one up for SPY because there's some trades coming up. So you want to make sure that you're on the right time frame for your trade. So I put 15-minute on here, and then I went ahead and I want to put in a plus sign. And then the condition is that you have to work from the condition. So it's going to look at, you want buy sell pressure. You click here, and then you can look for it to hit a buy or a sell. In this case, I'm going to put sell in. And then these options are only once means it'll just fire one time. This will fire once per bar, meaning in that bar, if it hits, it'll show up immediately. This is once per bar close, meaning you won't see it until the bar closes. I prefer this one. Once per minute, you just don't even bother with it here. So you do once per bar, and then you go ahead and you, my dogs may start barking here, my wife just got up. And then you can show pop up here, and then you create. Ignore this warning because it's telling you have derivatives in there. And then finally you have, it'll run for just a couple months and you'll have to redo it again. So anyway, that's what I want to talk to you about. And look for your feedback. But like I said, the 15-minute looks good. If you want to go back out to an hourly, you can do that too. Just adjust your sensitivities. And heck, you can go out daily if you wanted to too. It really depends on your style. And you can see, these are beautiful reversal signals. And then, like I said, you can fine tune them for your own personal style. I hope that helps. So if you get this indicator, just give me comments in the room. If you don't trade with us, these are just great tools. What we charge for the service is nothing compared to what we think you get out of it. And we'd like you to take advantage of it. So tradelikeagenius.com, and thanks for listening, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about SPY here in a later video. I just wanted to get this out for everybody to take a peek at. Bye-bye.